Hey guys, it's Dave here. Hope you all had a Merry Christmas. I have a little update here on Thursday, December 27th of 2018. We're going to have a really cool interview with one of our senior members in this video. He's going to talk about his time playing roller hockey in the 70s in New York City. It's a pretty interesting story, and what prompted him to come back some 40 years later to play roller hockey. So that is coming up. Right after some news on the jerseys, okay? So I've got, I think I got my list, and I think I checked it twice. I have, all the guys that wanted their own jerseys, I got, through Venmo and PayPal and email and Facebook and text messages. So I think I got my list all set. I'm going to confirm with everybody today to make sure this is what you wanted, because some people have changed their mind. So I'm going to try to get my final list out and confirmed today, and then we can start ordering the jerseys. I still have two sponsors that haven't got their check in yet. So there's two sets of jerseys that I can't order until I do get that check in, which I'm hoping today or tomorrow, and then we're all good to go on that. If you haven't paid for your jerseys, they are $33 each, $66 for a home and away. Please catch up with me either online or on Saturday. But because they are custom with your number on there, I can't just go ahead and order and then have you pay me later and then have you change your mind and me get stuck with them. So I do want to make sure that all jerseys are prepaid if you do want your own custom jersey. So I'll be going over that today. I'm hoping to grab my last two sponsors before the end of the year. We still got time for that because I got still people asking me about sponsoring. There's only two sponsor openings left, so I'm hoping to fill those up, and then we'll have all 8 teams on Tuesdays with sponsors, and then 8 plus the 2 Saturday sponsors for 10 on Saturday. So that's what I'm hoping with that. Okay, now before we get on to our interview, I do want to thank our sponsors that have sponsored a home and away sets of jerseys. Paramount Wealth Strategies, Everett Bank, Alpha Omega Hobby in Quincy, Bates Insurance is one of our new ones in Medford, the Local 103 IBEW, those are the cool orange jerseys, East Boston Savings Bank, One Call Ventilation, and also Aces Games and More in Revere. Those are our 8 sponsors right now, and they're bringing you the jerseys in today's video. And without further ado, let's get on to our interview right here. Hey guys, it's Dave here with the Eastern Massachusetts Roller Hockey League, and I'm here with our senior member, Jefferson Rowland. You might know him as JR. JR, welcome to the Tree of Life, as we like to call it here.
It is now.
So, you're one of our older guys in the league, and you actually were playing not street hockey, but roller hockey in, is it New York City?
Yeah, New York City.
Back in the 70s.
Yeah.
All right, so tell us a little bit about that, how you get into that, what that was like playing roller hockey in the 70s.
Well, you had the Rangers, then along came the Islanders. We were 6, 7, 8 years old and wanted to play hockey, and there's one place to do it or two, on the street or in a schoolyard with asphalt. Start 6, 7, 8 years old with the strap-ons, the metal clamp-on
So
skates.
those are the ones that just strapped on your shoes?
Yep. That's the first, your parents are saying, hockey, we can't afford a stick and skates, certainly ice hockey's out of the question. So you get a pair of strap-ons and a straight bladed stick until you wore it down till it was that thin, and then you might get another one for Christmas. And you just work your way up until 7, 8, 9, 10 years old. You start needing figure skates is what they used.
Really?
Yeah, quad figure skates mostly. And then they figured out how to get the trucks from the figure skates bolted into Eddie Bauer ice hockey boots. Okay. And so now we had some high quality quads, a lot less ankle breaking. And
so the
sweating.
quads are like a car, right? 2 in the front, 2 in the back.
And I'll get you some pictures you can edit on some of that, getting them in, And it's a different type of skating, too, versus inline, where you're on your ankles, you're off your ankles on 4 wheels. You never come up on 2 wheels.
I see,
So it's tough on the ankles. Right about 16, 17, 18 years old, you're in New York, or hooligans running around at night drinking beer, and you start to lose interest in the sport. Sex, drugs, rock and roll kick in right about 17 years old. And you're starting to fight too much playing hockey.
Was there a lot of fighting in that? You sent me an article on the east side roller hockey, and it said there was a lot of fights and things.
Yeah, they called it gangs. I think it's more hooligans. It's probably a better word for it, or tough guys. we'd go out Friday night looking for the other guys on the other team to sort of shake them up a little bit, and then it would come out on the field. There'd be a number of fights and things, but it was a tough time in New York City too. And then I was 18 years old. Like I said, sex, drugs, rock and roll, things took over, and I got a one-way ticket out of New York from my folks and $200 and saying,
wow.
time for you to go make a living. They didn't have many big plans for me, so I went and cut trees in Montana for a while.
Oh, nice.
I went down oil rigs in the Gulf, and I made enough money to go back to Montana, put myself through college, had a kid, divorced early, worked for another 35. I'm still working 40 years. Another divorce in there around here. That's life. And then I met a gal, and about 6-7 years ago, and it was a good thing. And she got cancer 3 times in a row,
Oh, boy.
and I was sick with her. I was overweight. I was on 8 drugs for statins and the liver and the blood pressure, and I was a mess. And when she finally died, I had to figure out what to do with my life. I was a mess. So I started skating on quads, like NASCAR, at the Bradford and the Beverly roller rink. I had already had a back surgery. I was trying to get my legs in line just to skate, just to have a good time and forget about things. And I remembered what a feeling it was. And
So how long was it between hockey? So you did a little bit of skating, but how long was it between the hockey?
40 years, about 40 years.
Okay.
I was about 17, and I picked up here at about 58, right? I've been a couple of years.
40 years?
40 years, nothing.
Wow.
Yeah, and I never played ice hockey. I was just roller hockey. And so I came back, and that's sort of the next phase, is I was looking for a challenge in my life. I was skating left all night.
It's like, when you went public skating as a kid, everyone got really good at turning left.
Just left.
And once in a while, if you went to a good public skate, halfway through it, they'd say, stop and reverse.
Didn't do that around here.
But a lot of them were just one way. It's like, oh, man, yeah.
So I got pretty good at going left, and I said, but this is still not enough. And I think online, I just started to poke around for hockey, what was going on in Eastern, came right up. And I thought, boy, what are the chances that, I could tap into this? I had quads, skates that were designed for the rink, not even for hockey. And I contacted you and had some interest, and you said, well, listen, JR, come on down. Put your skates on and come on down to the ring. And in between one of the periods, I put on my quads.
I think I remember you coming out with the quads, and I was like,
and everybody in between periods is looking at me like, "Who's this old guy?"
It's like you could see you could skate, you could see you were rusty, but you could see it was there. We've had some people come up and they walk in their skates, and you can tell that they can't skate. You were just rusty, and there's a big difference.
And you said, listen, we'll fit you in, but you said you probably need inline skates, and so I bought my first pair, and that came pretty easy. I like playing on inlines better.
It's more like ice hockey. Yeah, it really is. Yeah.
And in general, the guys are accommodating. I was struggling, and to be honest, still struggling. I don't get any stick time, but I'm going to retire in 6 months and get some stick time.
Oh, nice.
And up my game. But played with a number of teams now, and the camaraderie's good. And I like to go home with a little testosterone on me, guys. Get it out. Yeah. And I can talk about the day I had and a goal or two I might have scored, and at 60 years old, that's a thrill.
That's
it
great.
Really is, yeah.
Now let's talk a little bit about maybe some of the differences. So back in New York in the 70s. Had the quads. You guys were outside all the time. Now, did you guys play in the same rink or park or parking lot, or did you travel around, or what was that like?
Travel.
Okay.
They were generally New York City parks that had an asphalt surface.
Okay.
It was a schoolyard, all asphalt surfaces, and there were a few specialized asphalt rinks built with boards up near the East End.
Okay.
Had one. But it was wide open and there were no boards. The puck was a roll of Scotch 33 electrical tape.
I think in some of the old pictures you can see that. Yeah. You can see how it is. It's not a puck, because the puck wouldn't work.
Yeah.
So they use electrical tape. Huh?
Yeah, and those would gather up the asphalt dust really quickly and become very slippery. And they held their form. The 33 would hold its form as a bullet.
Okay.
when you got a good slap shot on it. Yeah, it was tough.
Now, I saw some of the pitches. Goalies were on skates too, right?
Goalies were on skates.
All on quads.
All on
Okay.
quads.
Okay.
Yep. And we were allowed to liberally get outside the lines. You could basically skate around your bench if you had to.
Oh, really? Okay.
Because there were too many whistles otherwise.
Yeah.
So as long as you got
Did
it
they have
back in.
referees?
They had referees.
Okay.
All of the regular rules of the game.
Okay.
Including the offsides, regular offsides.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. You can see from some of the video I sent you, some of those rinks are pretty big. Some of those asphalt rinks, they're huge. They span a whole schoolyard or something like that. And the teams were organized around either neighborhood clubs or, in my case, in Queens, the YMCA.
Okay.
So the Catholic Youth Organization, CYO, would have churches sponsor local teams, and they were all organized through the YMCA. So we had like the Queen of Angels, Devils, the Sacred Heart, Demons, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, like the church sponsor.
Yeah, the church,
the demons. Yeah.
Yeah. I think it was $17 to get on a team, and that was for one jersey. And you had to take care of that yourself. But otherwise, we played through winter. We would get delayed by snow, but in New York, we really didn't get that much snow. And sometimes it was cold, and we'd play in the freezing cold. It didn't matter. It was. And I think I had sent a couple of articles. A couple of championship teams at 15 or 16 years old.
Yeah, it was funny seeing those pictures from back then, because you vaguely remember that they were playing roller hockey outside back in the day. Now, to the best of your knowledge, was this going on anywhere else besides New York? Do you know?
Not to my knowledge.
Yeah, I don't think so either. Yeah. Not that it was exclusive, but I mean, New York was probably the most well-known one there. Yeah. Now, when you think back to playing in the 70s outside New York, and now you're playing inside up here in the Boston area, what are some of the bigger differences that you see? I mean, does anything strike you differently? I mean,
well, the level of organization and communication and keeping everything together is really tight. You run a good ship with the stats and the website and the communication. You have a lot of teams showing up to one place every week, and we used to have to travel everywhere, and it took a long time to get there. We used to take the train, the subway or the buses to get places. So the ability to play week to week and stay focused, and you're going to play basically. The weather doesn't, unless the roads are shut down. So it's very tight, and that's a real benefit. I wish I was a little better. Maybe I'll get there. I'd like to play Tuesday someday, be that sheety guy you really need on Tuesday night. But that's coming. I got to get some stick time, which I'm really looking forward to when I retire, and I can play around and get some balance back. And
there you go.
Yeah.
So anyway, well, thanks for joining us here. I just wanted to talk about, I don't want to say the history of roller hockey, but I guess as far as organized roller hockey.
It's in the heart. All those guys down there across the spectrum. It's in their heart to come down and play. And when I got back near it, I hate going to the gym. It's really tough to do. And at 60, I need a reason to behave during the week. And Saturday morning, 7:00 game is a reason to behave. It is during the week at my age. Yeah.
Yeah, Saturday mornings are definitely fun, especially getting up that early. You have the rest of the day in front of you there. But I thought it was really interesting when JR says, I used to play back in the 70s, and we had a roll of tape was our puck. And I actually thought you were kidding. Yeah. I just you kind of threw a roll of tape. Here's the puck we used to use in the 70s. But that was just kind of funny. Okay, but you weren't. That was exactly what you used, and you had the quad skates and the whole bit. But
we went through a few more sets of socks because of the asphalt.
Yeah. How did the wheels hold up? I mean, what kind of wheels did you have? How did they hold up?
They didn't last very long. They were, if you remember, they're harder because it's asphalt. They were free ball bearings. So all the time during the game, one wheel would go flying off, and you'd go running back and put in 12 little ball bearings in and try to put it back together. They were kind of chalky wheels that you would wear down real fast. Okay. Yeah, they didn't have the technology. In one of the pictures I'll send you, you could see the beginnings of the rubber quality wheels on the quads.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. And helmets, no helmets back then? Some did, some didn't? Or how'd that work?
Yeah, it was required
really?
in my league. Yeah. And you always wore a mouth guard because your parents had $2,000 worth of braces in your mouth. So you wore a mouth guard.
I only played half a season of ice hockey when I was a kid. So this was probably 73, 74 when I was really young. And we had a helmet and a mouth guard.
Yeah, mouth guard. Yeah.
That's all we
That's what
had.
we had,
And I think mine was like a little bubble one. It looked like the pretzel mask of the old goalies, but it just covered your mouth and it was just air. And you're like, anything significant hits that, it's not going to protect you. It really wasn't. No. But we didn't have the full face masks. You know what I mean? I don't remember what the goalies were. The goalies must have had a full face mask back then because that was 73, 74, maybe 75. But yeah, I remember, I remember dropping to block a shot, and the kid, 5 years old, he could hit that, but he hit me right in the chest here, and I was like, "Gee, if that's today, I'm not getting in front of that shot, But yeah, we didn't have the full cage back in the day, and I don't think that came into the late 70s, early 80s. Because I think when I played high school hockey in the early 80s, that was now mandatory. Yeah. But yeah, for the longest time, playing even youth hockey, it was just the mouth guard,
I wish some of the guys would wear the cages, just because there's guys like me out there falling down and the sticks are flying and it's unintentional.
Yeah, there's a lot of accidental things like that.
Yeah, and sometimes I wish I had more control over that, but yeah, no, and it's contributed a great deal to my health too. Making sure every Saturday I'm at least ready, to play and contribute. It's been great.
Ready to go. All right, so there you have it, JR. The oldest member of the league right now. I'm pretty sure we're all catching up to you, but right now you're I'm gonna stay ahead. The lead man. He's playing with us on Saturdays right now, and we just had a little chat with him about his beginnings in New York '70s roller hockey. Thanks for coming on.
My pleasure. Right. And we got playoffs coming up, right?
Yes, we do. Right after the holiday break, we got playoffs.
All right.
Thanks for tuning in, everybody.
Thank you.